jumping into the pod today. We're going to be talking about injuries and World Cup implications, and also talking about some of the Champions League. It's playing this week, Tuesday, PSG Bayern. But let's jump into one of the biggest injuries of the year, I think. Lamine Yamal being out for the rest of the year and could miss the World Cup. Hamstring injury, which is always a bad sign. You know, you don't want to see a player of his caliber have a hamstring problem, because I think that's one of the issues and problems that linger with you for the rest of your career, and we'll see how he plays coming back from it, because that's the most important thing. But I wanted to throw it out to you guys and see what are your thoughts about Lamine Yamal's injury, what it means for the sport, what it means for his World Cup. You know what I mean? So I'll throw it to Ralph. Show the pop real quick, Ralph, if you could. Show the pop. There he is. We'll take the hamstrings off of that guy and put them on him. Hopefully he'll be able to play. But yeah, let's see. I actually have a take that I'm holding. Hopefully you guys don't mention what I'm going to bring up. But let's throw it to Ralph. Now I want to hear what he has to say about you. Lamine Yamal is one of your favorite players.
I do think that he did get hurt, that he does have a hamstring issue.
What do you mean? You think he got hurt? It's already confirmed that he's out.
I know, but the La Liga is over, so they won.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
They haven't officially won, by the way.
Oh, but it's over. They're 11 points up.
Is it a conspiracy that Yamal has a hamstring injury?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think he got something where he pulled, but I don't think it's as serious as they're saying. And I think he'll be fine for the World Cup. Even if he comes back and he doesn't play the first couple of rounds, or at least the first group games, I think they'll still be fine without him, and then he'll come back. But, I think there's a lot of other players out there that, or at least one other one that I don't think is hurt, and I think he's just taking the rest of the year off so he doesn't get hurt for the World Cup. That's my take on that.
What was it again? I didn't get the last little part. What'd you say?
Oh, I said there's another guy that I think.
Oh, then mention who is the other guy?
Oh, I think Mbappe's not hurt at all. I think he's just you know what? I'm done for the year. We got our ass handed to us. We didn't win a single trophy. Let me just go home and rest and be ready for the World Cup. Because that's where he really has a chance to win. That France team is just stacked. They're too much. I think they're the favorite. But
Do you like that decision though?
For him, I do. He's got nothing to play for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big Mbappe fan.
Really, Jazz. Huh?
But I love the way he plays. But I don't want to see these.
I'm not a big fan of him, but I love the way he plays.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not a fan of Lamine Yamal, but
you don't follow Lamine Yamal.
You don't.
I watch his YouTube videos. Horrible production, but I'll get some production in real.
But you don't feel like some type of way for your Mbappe to kind of be like, you know what, Real, you're on your own.
Yeah,
I'm done with you
he
guys.
doesn't have nothing to play for, so I have no problem with him saying, you know what, this season's over. I do not want to see a World Cup with no Lamine Yamal, no Mbappe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see these big name players go out. I want to see them play in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, Lamine Yamal, yes, we all saw it. It's on camera. It's during the game he got hurt. I just don't think it's as serious as they're saying, and I think he'll be good for the World Cup.
What do you think about Lamine Yamal's injury?
I think Lamine Yamal's injury, I mean, there's been a bunch of things where they bring up past players. Like, for example, there was Boyan from Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
A long
No clue
time
who
ago.
that is.
Let him finish his statement.
He was considered. He played while Messi was still there. They were considered to be. He was considered to be the next Messi, while Messi was only 22.
I thought that was Ansu Fati.
Well, that's if you let me finish, I can maybe
Go ahead.
get over there.
You
know?
have the mic, Jazz.
So basically,
no more Liverpool jerseys.
Boyan, he was a phenomenal player. But after that, he got injured with his hamstring, and then he had a bunch of anxiety attacks, and then he never played as much as he did, as well as he did.
Because I never heard of him. So,
well, maybe if you pay attention to some things, maybe you'd know him. So there's him, and then there's Neymar that suffered a bunch from injuries, which we've also said that he was one of the next best things ever, and even with these injuries, he was a really good player, even though he still plays for Santos. And then there's Ansu Fati, which
Yeah.
hasn't really came back since all his injuries and is trying to find his form back at Monaco. And then now there's Lamine Yamal that was doing phenomenal, and now he suffered an injury. And people are saying, could it be the next thing where we think this guy isn't gonna be hurt and actually does have a good career and be the next best thing for a long time, and people are scared because the same thing has happened with Ansu Fati, Neymar, and Boyan, and people are saying that could it be the chain that
Chain reaction. Okay.
and
But wasn't Lamine Yamal hurt during the year and he was out for a few weeks too? What was the injury back then?
I don't remember. Pretty sure it's like his groin area, like
Was it
Yeah,
somewhere?
Jazz is right. It's his groin. Yeah,
And
'cause-
usually those aren't that serious, right? The hamstring is the
no, groin is more lingering though. It comes
okay.
it comes
and
constantly.
goes.
Yeah,
See that's what I have, but you never believe me.
there you go.
You don't have that.
I do like that, Jazz, that you did say that, we've had these occurrences to players that could have been big names. Like your dad said, he doesn't even know some of these players. And, it sucks to see a player that has so much more to give to the sport that could be like, didn't get a finish off getting his World Cup and his was it Euros that he lost?
No, he won that.
The
Lamine.
Yeah, which
He
one did
won
he?
the
He lose to
nation.
Portugal?
The
Nations, yeah. So like still have so much more to the game to give, and to go out like that is always like heartbreaking for us, especially because we were super excited to be like able to tell people that don't watch football on a regular basis. He was going to be one of our guys to be like, oh yeah, like you have to watch Spain because of Lamine Yamal. He was supposed to be one of our guys that we would put Spain on to show some casual viewers like, yeah, this is actually what football really looks like. This is a better style that you might like. And it sucks for him maybe not being able to be there or not be at his 100%. But for me, my take for Yamin being out is that Luis Fuentes, the Spain coach, he has blood on his hands. I think this is all accumulation of all the games that he played for Spain that didn't mean anything. That like he played him a full 90, and then he knew that he still had to play for Barcelona because their season was still progressing to see if they could win La Liga with Hansi, and like playing him for all those nonsense games for Spain, and like putting him in those situations where he was overexerting himself. There's even a picture of Pedri a couple years ago. Do you remember, Jazz, where like his eyes are really black and stuff like that, and he looked really tired, and it's because Spain overplayed Pedri so much that he got like no rest, and he got a really bad injury after, and it took him a while to get back into it. And it's like this Spain national coach, I get that like he wants to get them ready for the World Cup, but like these games didn't mean anything. Like you could have had Nico Williams on one side and had another Spanish player on the other side, like Alex Baella, all these players that could have at least got some playing time. But no, he played Yamal 90, even though he knew Yamal was gonna have to play 90 against Betis or Atleti or Real, and it's like this is the result of playing a player way too much, and he's been playing since he was really young. On the first team, it almost like he was due for an injury. Like he's been playing. He got called up at 17 years old.
15.
Oh yeah, he was even younger, and it's like, dude, like you can't. They play him until he has nothing left, and the thread on your tires is eventually going to come.
Yeah, but couldn't you
bald.
say the same thing about Barcelona?
What?
Well, playing them 90 minutes almost every game. You have all those Super Copas. You have
But that's his. That's like his. They're trying to win the league.
but you can't
teams,
blame
but
it on the
Spain team, they don't need him. They don't need to win those games. They're already qualified. So like, why even call him? You don't need him. You might as like I'm saying that like what more do you need to see him play? What more do you know he's gonna be on the team? So what is it that you need to see from him? He's already done everything else. Like, why don't you give other Spanish players a chance to be like, look at I could be a nice option off the bench. Why am I not getting called up? But you have the entire Barcelona team going to the Spain national team, and it's like they don't need to even play in those games.
Yeah, because for example, you could say the same thing for Gavi when he tore his he tore his ACL was with the Spain.
Yeah.
And then he tore and he didn't play for a long time.
Yeah. In games that don't matter, they didn't matter.
And especially because like you already know what he's capable of. Like these games, like you don't need your full 11 because you already know how they play.
Yeah.
Like for example, when we saw Portugal play against Mexico, they didn't have their actual squad. They had
guys
like,
that they were looking at to see
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe we can pull this guy. Maybe this will be a good option off the bench. This is a guy that might get a little sniff at the World Cup. It's like
yeah, it could be the
ridiculous.
same thing for Spain, but
Yeah.
the Spain coach, he just puts them all 90 minutes, which I think isn't good because on top of that, he has Barcelona and that he has all the like how you said the Super Copas and all of that.
Mhm.
He still has all those games, and on top of that, he has all of the national games as well,
Mhm.
which doesn't matter as much,
Yeah.
especially because you're already qualified.
Yeah, they don't need to win. Like, they're beating teams like 4-0, and it's like Yamal's playing, and they're tackling hard, and it's like, dude, we don't need this. And like Jazz said, this is not the first time, and this is not the first time a Barcelona coach has called out the Spanish national team. Xavi and Hansi Flick have both called out the Spain national team coach and been like, look at, dude, you're screwing us over on these games. Like, you cannot play these players this many times. And like Barcelona, a lot of it is their reason why they don't win as many Champions Leagues and as many, big trophies is because they play in these games, and Real, their guys don't have to play in these games. Like, what Real Madrid guy is playing in the Spain National League?
Well, what
team?
Spanish player do they have on Real?
Well, they have the what's the defender, Jess?
Huginson and Asensio.
Asensio, yeah, that's it. But it's like that's why that's,
Barcelona is the
Yeah.
Spain national team. So
yeah, but it's like, but why Jude doesn't get called for his England national squad, and Mbappe doesn't get called for the
right,
France
and these are all
teams,
qualifiers. You say that they're getting called up for?
They're not even qualifying. They're just friendlies.
Friendlies?
Yeah, so it's like, why is he like he refuses to bench him or even sit him through the game? He's playing 90, and Hansi Flick has mentioned it countless times. He's like, stop doing this. You're killing these guys. Like, they cannot keep this level.
Do you think it's like doing it kind of like for the money? Like, people, you play friendlies in other countries, and you want to take the people that, they want to see the big superstars. Nobody wants to see, wherever a European country, and then they're like, oh, Spain's coming to town, but they don't know any of the players that are playing, so it's like nobody's going to want to go to the game.
Yeah, and
I wonder if that's what they're doing it for.
I'm assuming, but it's also like the couple $100 that you're getting is worth more than Yamal's hamstring
Right.
for you guys to win a World Cup in 4 years. I don't think so. That little payoff that you got from that really small country that you're playing in the middle of the year is not enough money for. I don't think there's enough money in the world for Lamine Yamal's hamstrings for you guys to go win a World Cup. Like, you guys haven't won one in a while. I would have definitely went all in and be like, you know what, we
And
know
they
what
only
these
have
guys.
one World Cup.
Yeah,
title.
so like you could go and get more if you didn't run these players ragged. And I think there's a lot of people that live in Spain. I've noticed on Twitter and stuff. They've said, like, this is the reason why we don't win anything, because this coach is killing these players, and then we have nothing to go in the World Cup. They're done. So it sucks for Spain. It sucks for Yamal, but it's not just him that have gotten injured lately. There's been a couple players more that have also been injured. We have Esteval won't be in for the World Cup for Brazil. And I think there's another Brazilian that will also be out. And Rafinha is barely coming back from injury as well right now. So this Brazilian team is almost limping into the World Cup as well.
So Lamine Yamal is out with a hamstring, but he's questionable for the World Cup, right? Like he
Yeah,
can,
questionable. Yeah,
but Esteval is completely out. Like his
grade 4 hamstring.
Oh
They said the one of the analysts that I saw on YouTube say, I think the worst one he's seen is a grade 3. He hit grade 4. It's like that's really really bad. And I don't want to bring this to a Chelsea thing, but like it was um Enzo Maresca when he was coaching Chelsea. We had arguments like, why doesn't Esteval play more? Because he's so good. And they asked Enzo before he left, and he was like, why don't you play him more? And he's like, he's a young guy. Like, you got to be patient, and you have to not work him so hard because his body is not really understanding. He's going from a different country to a different country, eating different food, and like doing different stuff. Like, it's a different environment. He doesn't play the same way he plays in Brazil over in England. His body needs time to adapt. And so many people were like, that's stupid, that's not real. I'm like, I don't know. He might have been right because we had this new coach, Liam Senior, and he played him every single game, like a lot of minutes, and like never pulled him. And he just went all out there. Esteval was playing really, really hard. And
That's weird because I watched some of your Chelsea games and I didn't really see him out there. Remember, I was like, why did I put Esteval out there?
Liam Senior, when you stopped watching after you haven't watched a single game with Liam Senior as our coach. I think
I've seen maybe one. Like
yeah,
at the
and he
beginning.
never and Esteval, Enzo Maresca was very strict on him not playing back to backs or if he played in Champions League, he didn't play in the Premier League. So Liam came in and was like, "We're going all out," and now out. So kind of similar to Spain's problem is playing a guy that's like you're just gonna run him ragged and then you're gonna kill him off, which sucks.
I mean, I get it with the whole new country and different food and stuff, but playing a lot, I don't know if you can actually say that because he wasn't at Chelsea for that long. And look at Lamine Yamal's been playing, in the big leagues for at least 4 years since he was 15. So I think,
but that's a lot of minutes on their tires.
Right,
Yeah.
it is. But Esteval's only been at Chelsea for less than a year, maybe.
He was playing at Palmeiras at a young age,
Right.
and then he's going to England, so that's a big jump for his physicality. And then he went from a coach that was only playing him once a week to a guy that was playing him twice a week and playing him a full 90 and being like, okay, go out there and just do as much as you can out there.
So are you saying we shouldn't play our young players all that much?
No, you should. I think you should kind of spare them along. I think Hansi Flick does a pretty good job with it. I think there's a lot of coaches that are like, okay, I know you want to see this really young guy play, but you also have to protect the player. That's part of your job is to protect the players and be like, you know what, let's like Pedri, he's taking time away where he was like, I'm not going to Spain national. Like there was times where he was like he would almost fake an injury to be like, I can't go. And we were all like, that's not a real injury. Kind of like Mbappe, how you were saying. And like he took a step back and he looked so much healthier for it. Like he can't keep doing, like you can't keep playing them hard like that.
Let me ask you, I mean, you don't have him on the list, but isn't Lennart Carl also hurt, or what's his story?
I don't think his is like, he's hurt, but I think he's going to be fine for the World Cup. And I don't think his came from overplaying. It was just that it was a freak accident at practice where it was just like he extended too far and he had a little like, it was more so cautionary. And I think Vincent Kompany's been doing a really good job to be like, he's fine, but like I'm not playing him right now. You know what I mean? They have a good setup right now. Let's not push him to recover fast so then he doesn't get more injured before the World Cup. And I think Vincent Kompany is doing a great job protecting his player and being like, you know what, Carl is probably healthy, but let's not put a lot on his play right away because then he can get re-injured. Like Alphonso Davies, Jazz has brought up on the pod before. Like Jazz, remember Alphonso Davies? He came back early for kind of, I think it was like a World Cup thing for Canada and then got injured again. But like, what were your thoughts about like Alphonso Davies too? Remember, like he came back way too early.
Yeah, like I remember he got like it was like one of the his first 2 weeks back. Usually you need to at least like to play a game.
Yeah,
you need like. Yeah, you might have just came back from an injury, but just because you come back doesn't mean you play a game right away. Like you still have to like train again.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're training, but you can't play like a full 90 or like a full half,
Yeah.
barely coming back, especially because you could be like, let's say like your hamstring
Mm.
like that. It barely became strong again. That doesn't gonna guarantee it.
Yeah. It's gonna hold.
Yeah, it isn't guaranteed that it's gonna be 100% fit,
Mhm.
even though you're back from injury.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened to him, and that's why he got injured.
What
Again,
was his injury?
hamstring?
Hamstring? Okay.
Yeah, and he came back early to play in a Canada friendly,
I think I remember that.
and then like he got injured, and we're like, and Bayern. I remember them being so mad at Canada's national team. It was like, we just got him back. He didn't even play a single game at Bayern, and he went to Canada's national team, and then he got re-injured, so they had to rehab him. And he doesn't get rehabbed in Canada; he gets rehabbed in Germany. So like that comes out of their money, you know. And Bayern's paying Alphonso Davies, not Canada, you know. So it's like they a lot of teams get really mad at these
That's what
national
happened.
teams.
That I think that's a little bit different. You know, you have Spain and Brazil who they have superstars. They don't absolutely need them, but
Mhm.
there was nobody else playing for Canada. So I think if they were qualifying,
Yeah, it was a friendly.
and it was a friendly,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean,
It was not like any type of friendly. I think it was like Canada USA.
hmm.
So like they were like, oh yeah, and Alfonso Davies is gonna have playing it, and he got injured, and we're like, well, and Bayern was livid because they're like, dude, this is a friendly. Like it doesn't even matter. You're gonna host the World Cup.
yeah,
By
but he's
the
back
way-
now. So
By the way, as well, I think Esteval missing is really, really bad for. I think really bad for Brazil because Rodrigo's also out, and they
Yeah.
both played on the exact same wing.
Yeah, they just
So
lost
both of
their-
them being out is
Yeah.
a huge problem for Brazil.
but you got Cunha, right? Is that who's gonna be playing out there?
He plays a 10.
Yeah, Cunha plays
Oh, he
more in the
doesn't.
middle.
I thought he was more of a winger.
No, he plays in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they have Rodrigo out because of his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
No,
he's
he-
not.
But he's
coming
not
back.
gonna play at all, right?
No.
Like,
No, he's out for like
He's out.
until like next season.
Yeah.
So Esteval's definitely out. So who do you guys see playing that wing?
I don't think you really have anybody. I mean, there's obviously like there's not any big names that are
No.
on that wing because before we would have said you could have had Vinny, Rafinha, and then
Mhm.
somebody in the middle.
Well, but
Yeah.
put a little
But-
Richarlison
But,
out there.
but Rafinha in the wing, that's
Play him
never gonna
somewhere.
work. No,
He shouldn't even be touching the field.
The thing is, but
He's the missing piece.
Ask that Spurs team.
After him
Relegation.
getting relegated, he's
Yeah.
not even gonna get
Because
called
he
up.
doesn't play.
He-
I told you that
I'll
from the beginning of the
I'll
season.
actually show you. I actually didn't even show your dad because I was laughing. Spurs had a chance to win the game, and it went and they kicked it into the middle. And Richarlison misses two wide open headers, and like the ball's coming over, and he jumps too early, and the ball like he jumps and he's like this, like throwing his head in, and the ball just grazes past his head, and I was like, and the Spurs fans are so mad. They're like, come on, now.
They haven't played him, so it's their fault.
He's not the missing piece.
He's
He
the
doesn't fit.
missing piece.
He doesn't fit with Vinny and Rafinha.
Yeah, but like,
Well, then just throw one of them two on the wing.
Yeah,
Either
that's
Vinny
what
or
they're- that's
Rafinha.
what
yeah,
Jazz
but
is saying.
the thing is, Rafinha's barely coming back. And
Yeah,
can't
you're gonna
guar-
do the same
and you
thing.
can't guarantee him a full 90, especially from him barely
Yeah.
coming back. That's the
Yeah.
thing about this team is
This
that
Brazil
all of them
team-
are barely coming
Yeah,
back from
this
injury.
Brazil team just took a huge step back. Huge.
Oh, they took a huge step back in 2000. What, when Germany beat them 8-0? That's when they took the
2014.
step
Yeah,
back.
it's
7-1, by the way. You keep on bringing it up and you never get the right
Yeah,
score.
no, he never did that.
Every time.
It feels like it was 10-0.
And they're saying Bruno
Guimaraes.
Guimaraes is having injury problems as well for Newcastle. So it's like, man, Brazil just had, like Jazz was saying, losing not only Rodrigo, but losing Esteval is like, that's a really bad because Carlo
Esteval
Ancelotti
was never like considered to be a starter anywhere near.
Yeah,
a
but now
starter.
he was gonna fill in that spot. He was gonna fill in that spot for them, and Carlo had him on the sheet to be like the starting 11. Now Carlo Ancelotti has to throw away the whole thing and be like, we need a whole nother setup for this Brazil team. Really bad. Like,
Carlo Ancelotti's like, hey, can I do this like 4 years from now?
yeah, he's like, holy smokes, I really I want to see how they set up and how they do this because it's gonna be.
I just want to see who's playing. That's
I know.
what I want to see.
Because not only him is missing, but another player, a Netherlands player, will not be there as well. And me and Jazz were just talking about it earlier. Javi Simmons.
How come
tore
I'm
his
never in these
ACL.
conversations?
Javi Simmons tore his ACL. Spurs versus. Gosh darn it! What team was it?
Was it Wolves? Was it the game that they won?
No. Oh yeah, it was the one that they
It was
won.
Wolves,
Was
I
it
think.
Wolves?
Yeah, Wolves.
Okay.
They beat them 1-0.
Yeah. So that was the game, and he tore his ACL on it, and feel really bad for him because he I think he was kind of betting on the World Cup being good, especially because if Spurs go down,
step up.
like he can leave Spurs on a high, you know,
And
like
then go somewhere else
yeah.
big, especially
yeah,
because he's Netherlands. I mean, they've always been a scary team
yeah,
in World Cup. And then if he would have done good and his team would have done good,
Yeah.
he would have been able to leave Spurs
yeah.
and he would have gone to a better team.
I know, really big fat paycheck again to leave there.
Now he's gonna have to play in the championship next
Yeah,
year.
I know. If Spurs get relegated, and he's coming off an ACL, I don't think any team touches him. I'd be like, ooh, no, thank you. You know that he's already not that fast. So imagine how much more slow he's gonna be. You know, he didn't pick up the Premier League like other players, like really fast. He like kind of like sunk around. Remember, Jazz, we were saying like he's not that good.
Yeah, because
anymore.
you guys were high on him.
I was never high on him.
You were high on him wherever he played before. You're like, oh, that Xavi Simmons guy.
I said
But
he's
now that
alright.
you also said Bruno Fernandes was a nobody, and now he's like, oh, he's the greatest person ever.
I said I never said that. I said he could be the Premier League Player of the Year,
No, you're
which
saying.
the Premier League has been pretty shat. This
Oh,
year.
here we go. You said he is phenomenal this year.
I didn't say that. I said he was good. Remember, Jess? Thank you.
I heard phenomenal.
Yeah, he's been good, but yeah, Javi Simmons.
So
missing-
phenomenal that Jazz went to Vegas and he bought a Bruno Fernandes,
There you go.
Portugal.
He's
so.
been good. But,
So you both are all high. Ooh, Bruno. And
But,
back when I was like, hey, Bruno Fernandes that's the captain. He's a good guy. He plays. He's the heart and soul. You guys are like, oh, that guy sucks. Oh, man, I would never wear his jersey. Now you
I
guys
don't
can't
think
stop
he-
talking
I
about
don't
him.
think me and we didn't even bring him up. I don't think.
Oh, you guys brought him up like 3 times.
But Memphis Depay also
Who?
being pretty old.
Also,
Yeah, old, all injured as well. He's also
Who are
not
you
going to be
talking
going.
about?
Just take it easy. Let the people that watch football talk about football. But Memphis Depay not playing
This guy-
in
watch
Netherlands, and now Javi Simmons also not being there. It's like, man, Netherlands is like,
Memphis Depay could have gotten the goal leading of
I
all
know,
time.
yeah.
And now with him injured, it's gonna be huge. What
Yeah.
what is he injured of? Do you know?
I think it was his. I think he, because remember he plays in like Corinthians or
yeah,
something.
he plays in like
Yeah.
Corinthians.
Yeah, and he's been injured in and out and stuff like that. He's been having problems with his knee, I think it was. But yeah, I think he's done. But like,
I think
Netherlands-
Robin's also hurt.
But Netherlands really needed a player to step up for them to score. And Javi Simmons, I think, they were setting him up for him to kind of like lead this Netherlands team. Because look, they don't have that many. They have Wijnhorst, but he's like on the tail end of his career as well. He plays over in the Dutch league, you know, like he's done pretty much. And now Netherlands has lost a big player for them, and Virgil's getting old. Like these injuries are messing up really good World Cup teams. Like it's almost like one injury or 2 injuries, and you can go from a team that's gonna walk out of their group to being like, oh, they're gonna struggle now. Like it's big. Like these are big time losses.
The only
Do you
silver
know who Memphis Depay played for?
played for Memphis.
No. What team do you think he played for?
Oh, I have no clue, Jess. Corinthians.
No, guess. He top 5 leagues.
Top 5 leagues?
Yeah.
Played for Liga.
No.
No, he didn't play.
He played in La Liga.
In La Liga? Oh,
Mhm.
That's nice. I don't know who he is or what he played in.
He played for Barcelona.
What? What's his name?
Memphis Depay. He wears
Oh,
a-
Dupai.
yeah.
Okay. You
You
guys
don't
just
even
weren't
know-
saying it right.
Oh God. But yeah, he's a big loss
don't
for a
know
lot
who
of
he is.
teams. But
Oh, let me just give you a little bit on, we're talking about World Cup and injuries and all these big names that are supposed to perform. The only silver lining that can come out of this is that we find the next James. We find that next guy that nobody thought was gonna play or was gonna perform, and hopefully we see that. Because, like I said, I don't want to see a World Cup with all these players not there. Because then it's like, what are you watching it for? But
Chuck, do you bring Neymar back?
I think that's the right decision now.
that would be crazy if they brought Neymar.
I think that's
back.
the only sensible thing to do right now at this time if I was Brazil.
But I don't know how recent his YouTube videos are, or how fast he posts these videos. But his doctor's not giving him good news. Like whatever they're doing, they're like, yeah, Neymar, it's not working. You got to come back and go see another doctor next month. So I don't know how current that is, but from those YouTube videos, it's not looking good for him to come back.
Well, I'm glad we have someone watching the YouTube videos. So. I haven't seen anything by Fabrizio Romano talking about Neymar's injury issues or anything, but I would definitely, if I was Carlo, I'd probably be on the phone with Neymar just to even bring him in and see what's up. And I think he would be a big asset for that Brazilian team to maybe get their hopes up as well, like give them something to play for. Losing some of your big hitters right before the World Cup is kind of a downer. I mean, not kind of, it's a huge downer. And maybe bringing Neymar there to kind of like boost the spirits, I think is a big thing. And I think Carlo is definitely a vibes guy. He's not a tactician. I think he's a vibes guy. He's definitely a guy that's like, let's play with what we got, know what we got to do, and go do it. He's not going to be like, pass the ball X, pass it A, pass it, like, do all these different setups. So, yeah, there's a lot of injuries going into this World Cup. I mean, we're even France is not going unscathed, losing Hugo Ekitike, and even Desiree Doué has had injuries. I mean, Hugo is done for the World Cup, but Desiree Doué also has picked up an injury as well. So didn't play today for PSG. So we'll see how his fitness is going into the World Cup as well.
What does he have wrong?
I think also hamstring.
Hamstring? Jesus.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It's getting to that point. Dembele had injuries problems earlier this year as well. So, these World Cup teams are really limping into this World Cup, like big hitters. No team, I think, in the top are going unscathed besides, I think, maybe Argentina. Knock on wood that no injuries they're going into the World Cup injury free. So we'll see how the rest plays out and go from there. But I really hope that some of these guys can get healthy and ready to go for the World Cup. I think Fermin Lopez is a guy that I hope steps up for the Spain national team. Is there another player that you guys are saying, because your dad was saying, like, we need to find the next James? Is there a player that you guys are thinking that maybe, like, he was a guy, like, on the fence, but maybe through injuries might show up and be like, oh, that guy's balling? I mean, Fermin's my pick for the Spain national team to step up and some of the guys' absences.
I know you're not going to like it, but I think Ryan Cherky is going to come up for Spain and really do well.
Oh, he plays for France.
Sorry. Ryan Cherky. Who did I say? Spain? Because
Yeah.
you said Spain. But yeah, I think Ryan...
Don't throw it at me because I didn't say that.
Yeah, Ryan Cherky's going to be that.
Your dad gives me the most cookie cutter answers. Like, give me some crazy names, you know what I mean? Give me something different. But it's fine. I like Turkey. He's fine. That's fine pick. Whatever.
You went for Fermin, who plays for Barcelona and plays for Spain.
He wasn't even going to get playing time for the Spain national team.
Says who?
Says the coach, Luis Fuentes. He never plays for me in the Spain national team.
Oh, but he'll play Oyarzabal.
Yeah, they'll play him, yeah, because he's the striker. But
What about
Fermin,
you,
I
Des?
think, will be a big one.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't got nothing.
I'm trying to find.
I actually got
trying to
one
think.
for Jazz.
You can't have one for Jazz. You pick it for yourself. Like
Jesus.
For you.
Well, I'm thinking me and Jazz are one brain sometimes.
Yeah,
You know who I think could do well without Yamal being there? That guy that needs it so bad.
Another
Needs it-
Spain guy.
Yeah, another Spain guy. But you know who needs it so bad to the point where it's like he needs it, because if not, he's falling off the wayside. He's done. His career's over. Nico Williams
Yeah.
needs it so bad. In 8 games, Jazz, he's only had 1 game he started, and he didn't finish the first 90. In those 8 games, he hasn't scored a single goal. A single goal. We went from this guy being the hottest commodity in the last tournament that we had. Everybody was throwing every number we could at it. Barcelona was throwing everything. They were getting rid of players for him to sign, and now I haven't heard from him. What do you think
I'm-
about?
Yeah, I think like they just like don't have. He hasn't been talked about ever since the Euros. Everybody like thought, oh, he's gonna be like good for athletic club, and then he just like went down, like last season as well. It's just insane that to
Mhm.
think that how far he's gone low,
Yeah.
but it's just like he went from up here
Hmm.
where everybody was talking to him and talking about him, and now he's like all the way down here where nobody mentions him anymore.
Athletic Club is not even gonna make Champions League this year. They're not even. They just fired their coach. They just fired their coach. They actually hired the Dortmund coach, by the way, an old Dortmund coach.
I was gonna say if he was Brazilian, he'd have a good time because he'll be like, let me play right wing. I'll
Mhm.
do it, and maybe he would. Oh, by the way, I'll throw another one you won't like up there, but
All of them are I don't like. But go
I
ahead.
know you don't like anything, but that guy Richarlison,
We're
if-
not doing Richarlison.
Oh God!
if Brazil picks him up, I'm telling you, man.
Put your finger down.
I know you guys fight me on this, but
He's not a
Rashad-
World Cup player.
he is a
No,
World
it's
Cup
because
player.
No,
you're
he's
thinking
not.
about his one goal he did in the World Cup.
The bicycle.
I told you that guy was great before that.
He's
Before
just
that.
scary looking. That's it.
He's scary looking.
But
He
he doesn't
plays
have
scary.
the same. The World Cup to me, anyways, is about skill.
No, it's not. It's about a
The
player
gr-
showing up on the big stage.
the
That's
greatest,
what it is.
Skill player just walked out with the World Cup and beat a guy that's always shows up on the world stage. Mbappe. Mbappe always does well in the World Cup, and he got
and he
beat
did
by,
well.
I know, but he lost to the guy that is all skill, strictly skill. So I don't think it's the same. I think you have to have a lot of skill going into this World Cup. You have to have a guy that you need a bunch of Harry Kanes to win this. You don't need to have athleticism. Athleticism doesn't win you anything in the World Cup. I think from the World Cup that I saw, the most athletic teams were the teams that got bounced pretty quickly, like teams that you're like that team should be doing better. But we had Croatia again with those old Luka Modrics out there that are like older than dirt. What's his name? Ivan, whatever his name. He played for Spurs, but like super old, but just great with his feet. Like that Croatian team was older than dirt and Gravardio, and that was it. And it was just all guys that knew how to use their feet, and they made it to they got third place.
So do you think old Bernardo Silva and old Bruno Fernandes are going to take Portugal all the way to the
I
end?
think that
'Cause that's what
they
you
have to.
I think those were your
Yeah.
dark horse teams. Was
Yeah.
Portugal?
Because they have the only thing that's the problem with Portugal is that they're so good like tactically that you're like that like there's not other players that fall in line. They all like kind of argue with each other because they're all really great. So they're like, no, you do that, you do that. Like it's not like a Belgium team where it's like one, like if Bernie was on that Belgium team and they all fall in line to whatever Bernie said, I think that Belgium team would be like phenomenal. But when you look at that Portuguese team, there's so many hands in the cookie
Too many
jar.
names.
Yeah, they have so many hands in the cookie jar that there's everybody's like, well, you do it. It's like that Kentucky basketball team that like you're like this team looks unstoppable on paper, but we don't play the World Cup on paper. We play the World Cup on the field. So I think that that's going to be a big difference. But yeah, I don't think you have to be the fastest or the strongest or the meanest looking Richarlison.
I didn't say that's what.
I think you need Brazil needs skill out there, and a lot of it.
You can have a Vinny,
They were
Neymar,
born with it.
and then Rafinha for the top
Yeah.
three.
I would probably do that and just stick someone. I would probably put like a destroyer over there by Neymar's side to like a
Richarlison?
like a Casemiro.
Like Casemiro, you gotta. Oh God,
Casemiro's been
you gotta
he's-
let that guy go.
you give Bruno his passes, but Casemiro has more GAs than Bruno this year for Man United.
No heart, no soul.
He's great, but
Casemiro's good at.
and by the way,
crossing.
he also won multiple Champions Leagues that Bruno has never even sniffed. So put some respect on Casemiro's name. He's one of the greatest.
I'll give it
Trios.
to Pepe instead of
He's-
Casemiro.
But yeah, they need to have some destroyers out there. But yeah, I think that Richarlison is not the I don't think he's even gonna get called. To be completely honest, we'll see if he does or not. That form at Spurs has just really killed him. If they can get a coach that believes in him, I mean, he could do wonders. There was a time when what's his name? What's the coach's name? Oh gosh, what's his name? The Spurs coach that was like super, like he was heavy. Ange and Postacoglu, you know, the big Ange, you know, that guy. He believed in Richarlison, and Richarlison did go on a run, like scoring like 3 or 4 games, and then he had like some issue in the locker room, Richarlison, and then he dropped him. And since then, he hasn't been able to find his confidence. If they can get someone that believes in him and can get him confidence, then yeah, maybe he could go to the World Cup. But right now, his time's up. Like the doesn't have enough time on it so for him to get picked up by the Brazil national squad. He's not getting any PT. So how can you call him?
Oh, you call him just like you said. The English team was picking like what players that were playing for AC Milan but weren't even starting. Or you remember that? Who was it?
Oh, Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
And Reece James, yeah. But that coach is a lot different. I think that Thomas Tuchel he's getting guys that he's just picking Chelsea players. And I'm like, you can't do that because then everybody's gonna hate us because it's like Thomas didn't win the World Cup because he got a bunch of Chelsea players. But it's like that's who he wanted. I think Carlo
Ancelotti needs.
He could
needs
go and get him.
Personalities. You
I think
need
he has
Neymar.
plenty.
You need Neymar.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's not the same Neymar that he was before. I don't care that he doesn't perform. Just get the excitement out there.
Yeah.
Like Neymar, people are going to want to watch that. And I think players will want to play with him.
Mm-hmm.
Get that Richarlison. You know, you put him in the 72nd minute every game if you need to. Just put him on the bench and then get him in and see if he can do something for you. And I guarantee he will perform. Brazil needs a miracle, man. They got to find it somewhere.
But you were saying that they had it in the bag a couple of weeks ago.
They're still my pick, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but they're still my pick.
Yeah. A lot of teams are limping into the World Cup, but that's why we're going to do an updated World Cup video to kind of give us a little bit better of a choices and be like, that France team is looking even more unstoppable and England's kind of falling off as well. So where I'm like, they really don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think you talked Portugal into my mind because every time I think about them, like all these
their stories are perfectly aligned this time.
And how great would it be? Wake up. How great would it be if Portugal won the World Cup? Mm-hmm. And now we have that debate.
I know, again and again
with Ronaldo and Messi because Messi has this World Cup and it's like, oh well, you can't touch him. Mm-hmm. What if Ronaldo wins it? Yeah. Even if he's not the main character in that team.
Yeah.
But if he wins it, he still has that World Cup, and that's going to be an argument for.
It depends how many minutes he plays because UEFA considered Messi only having 3 Champions Leagues instead of 4 because in one of them he was injured, so he didn't get that many minutes. So it could be the same thing here. Where they're like, oh, Ronaldo didn't get enough minutes. They wouldn't.
No, they don't do that. You have bench players that don't even play, and they still get credit for being in the World Cup team, for winning it.
We'll see. I don't even know if he might even get picked. Ronaldo might not even.
Oh, he's getting picked. You cannot leave him off of that World Cup squad.
If you want to win, maybe you do.
No, you maybe don't play him as much, but you don't leave him off.
We said the same thing about Mbappe being on Real. We're like, how could you win a Champions League without Mbappe? PSG just did it.
Oh, I never said that. But
I mean,
that's different.
No, it's the same.
No, it's not because
Ronaldo.
Because you're playing with the club team.
Yeah,
your country is something totally different.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that wherever Ronaldo goes, there's issues. There's problems on the field.
Oh, okay, get you.
So Mbappe, when he left PSG, everybody took a deep oh man, I don't have to do as much anymore. I don't have to be dealing with Mbappe's tactics and his.
So you're saying that at Portugal they might win it if they have better chemistry because every time Ronaldo's out there,
because the story is all about they focus on Portugal to be like, oh, will Ronaldo play? Will he not? They did a whole thing last World Cup when he got benched, everybody freaked out and they didn't even watch the Portuguese game. It was just like, oh, Ronaldo got a drink of water. Oh, Ronaldo did this. It's like, but like that team is still out there trying to win it. And that striker, Ramos, scored a brace, and people didn't even talk about that. They were like, oh, but Ronaldo played on the bench. It's like, yeah, but Portugal won the game. You know, like you bring that.
Yeah, we were watching that game,
You
remember?
bring that negative, like if you want to win, you kind of want to do what's best for the team. Like you were saying, Neymar needs to be on Brazil because it helps their morality. But like maybe leaving Ronaldo at home gives Portugal that little bit of edge to be
Yeah,
like,
but
we
isn't
win
that
it.
isn't that still going to be the main story? Oh,
Yeah.
Ronaldo's not playing in the World Cup.
Mhm.
You'll have a boycott of
Well,
the Portuguese team.
Then
Their
they're gonna,
fans are going to boycott
that's
their
why
games.
that's why they wouldn't win the World Cup. Then you know what I mean? Like if you're so focused on winning it because of this one guy, then you don't really care about the World Cup. Then you just care about Ronaldo winning it. But it's like you're Portuguese, you should be rooting for your team no matter what because it's your team. You know, you want them to win the World Cup. One player shouldn't be the say or be all of your team. You know, it's like I'm not gonna throw a fit if Messi doesn't go to Argentina, but I'm also not Argentinian. But there's other Argentinians that would be like, well, if Messi can't go, then he doesn't go. You know, we're not gonna be mad at him, and we're not gonna be mad at the team because he doesn't go.
Well, he also already won it. So
Yeah.
it's like,
You know, Ronaldo said on his podcast that he doesn't see the winning the World Cup as a big achievement.
it's because he's never won it before.
Yeah, that's why.
kind of
'cause
partly the
That's
reason.
why, you know, he says all these things. Like he said that he just doesn't think it's a big achievement, and to him it isn't important.
It's the biggest trophy you can win in the football world.
Mhm.
There's nothing more important than a World Cup win. You win it for your country, you win it for yourself, and it does matter.
Yeah,
He's saying it because he doesn't have one. If he had one, he'd be like, "Oh, it's important."
that's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't you rather not have him there unless he's gonna?
I think the only way you're gonna get away from that is the day he retires,
Yeah,
because then you don't have to make the decision
Mhm.
of whether he
Yeah.
plays or he doesn't.
yeah,
It's just like, okay, he's gone.
Yeah.
He didn't win it, or
yeah.
he did win
and
it.
The coach doesn't.
But
And
the
then you
coach
have his
doesn't have
son.
to deal with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huh?
But then you have his son, Cristiano.
Oh no,
Ronaldo
there's
Jr.
no. Yeah,
You had to be like, yeah, he's not touching nothing over here. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of the World Cup plays out. I hope everybody gets healthy for it, and I hope we have a really good World Cup because this is Jazz. This is gonna be Jazz's really going into it. This is gonna be Jazz's really big first World Cup where he knows probably more players than both of us combined. That where Jazz could be like, oh yeah, I remember him play for here, and he knows the lineups, he knows the goalkeepers. He's ready to go for this World Cup, and I think hopefully he has the same experience I did. I got really lucky on my World Cup. I stayed up and watched every Argentina game because he was the only team that I really wanted to watch. I watched every single game, and most of them I watched with Ralph, and I knew a lot of the players, so I was able to pick and be like, oh yeah, this is the problem. It was so much more fun knowing the players and stuff. So I hope
but you know what?
has a
I think
similar experience.
Jazz has a little bit like you. It was your first World Cup. You were coming into it,
Yeah,
but you focused on Argentina and Messi.
yeah.
Now you know everybody in every country,
Yeah,
and I think you'll enjoy this one, even though you'll never forget watching Messi.
Yeah.
Win it.
uh-huh.
But being at that level where you know so much about football now,
Yeah,
it's gonna be more enjoyable because.
Yeah.
You're not following one team. You're going to follow multiple teams.
Mhm.
And then you're going to have your surprises, your, teams that were supposed to win aren't winning. But I'm really excited for, just for the three of us. I've never had people in my family, or I've had maybe a couple of friends, but they weren't diehard, They didn't know anything.
yeah,
They're just like, oh, let's throw on the Mexico shirt and go have some beers and watch
yeah,
the game.
Yeah,
But nobody knew anything about the game.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now I think with everybody here, having so much knowledge in football, I think it's going to be a great World Cup for us.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully we don't have too many more injuries. I hope everybody gets healthy and we're good to go. And we have a lot of stories going into it. I think I want to give out to even the people watching and listening that I think this podcast is going to get even more we're gonna get more into the World Cup as the closer it gets, and I think this is gonna be a channel that I think you want to keep an eye on because I think we're gonna be doing a lot of podcasts about games, players, surprises, winnings. You know what I mean? So hopefully we'll even do a couple of lives for Mexico and even some of the other countries that we're rooting for to see how they do, and go from there. But I think it's gonna be a good World Cup. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
It always is.
What do you think, Jess? Anything to add?
No, I think it's good.
You're excited for the first World Cup, Jess?
Yeah, I think this one would be really interesting. Because I feel like the 22 World Cup was just like there wasn't really new names.
Yeah, it was kind of all the old.
But that made it fun. But now here we see like potentially Lamine Yamal, potentially Carl and Due.
Yeah,
bunch of new faces. And hopefully it's good.
And some Elises.
Oh, Lisa, don't forget that guy.
Take it easy, Elise.
Don't forget that guy.
I'm surprised Ralph didn't even bring up Real Madrid today because he loves bringing them up. That's
don't forget the Colombias.
No,
of
he
the
brought
world.
up Mbappe. That's
oh
close
yeah, there you
enough.
go. Yeah, close enough. But yeah, hopefully everybody checks out the pod and leave a comment down. Let us know who you think you're gonna be rooting for in the World Cup because I want to see, and maybe I can get a hold of some of you guys and maybe we can talk a little bit of World Cup stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. Thumbs up.